Hello and welcome back to Mars for another nature figure review. It's a beautiful day for a Storm Collectibles nature review. Today we are looking at the KOF 2002 Unlimited Match Nameless, also known as K49. This character is very interesting, so please learn more about this figure or this character if you are interested in this review or interested in picking the figure. And of course, if you already know about this character, then you already know how awesome he is. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and get this figure out of the box and see what all it comes with. Nameless comes packed with 3 expressive head sculpts. You're going to be getting 5 pairs of hands. We have 2 here on the left, 2 here on the right, and then of course the default closed fist. Then you're going to be getting 1 unique hand right here for the flame. And then we also have a drill effect for his weapon there, for his left hand and arm, and this is actually going to be for his left hand and arm down here as well. And then to top things off, you are also going to be getting a badass flame effect and a cool ass scarf for the figure. Now let's get everything out of the box and have a closer look, starting off with the size comparison for Nameless. For our first size comparison, we have the KOF 2002 Unlimited Match Kyo, which, for those of you who do not know, Nameless is a clone of Kyo and K-Dash. Now, unfortunately, I don't have K-Dash. He's long gone. Very great figure. I highly recommend you check out that review. Phenomenal figure. But yes, Nameless is the combination of the two in terms of cloning. Up next, we have Ultra Street Fighter 4's Evil Ryu from Storm Collectibles. And then lastly, we have Jada Toys M. Bison and Marvel Legends Deadpool. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at these Nameless head sculpts, pairs of hands, and accessories. For our first head sculpt, we have the stoic Nameless here. And with the white and black, that just signifies the K-Dash and the Kyo combination going on there. Pretty cool, nicely detailed. I like the scarring there on the head sculpt. Looks like there's no paint application worries or errors that I can see. So yeah, looking pretty good for our first head sculpt here. Up next, we have our grinning, aggressive head sculpt expression. Also looking very good. And then for our last head sculpt, we have him yelling, angry, fighting for his love, as they both share memories in the lab. And then that will be it for our head sculpts. Now let's move into the pairs of hands. For our first pairs of hands, we have the closed fist. We have our opened hands. And I'm going to be honest with you, the other pairs of hands are also open hands. Just the expression is more exaggerated or less exaggerated. Here's our third pairs of hands. Up next, we have our gripping hands, or as I like to call them, our flame hands, in which we'll cover that later on. And then here's our last open hand. Now let me show you our one unique hand for the metal gauntlet there. And then lastly, we have his unique flame hand that goes off into his gauntlet. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the accessories. So the first thing I want to cover is actually going to be this. So this is a cool little feature that we have with this figure. Zoom this out here for a second. And you can see how it looks. So to make it go like this, what you're going to need to do is, let's get him standing up real quick. All right. We have this piece here, which is his gauntlet, and then obviously the hand. You would just take this off and then slide this down. And then that is going to expose his arm there, in which you can grab a gauntlet, slide that back on, and then you would just put on the metal hand. So that is how you would substitute that out or exchange that out. Now let's go ahead and look at these accessories. First, going to start off with the cape here. The cape looks really good. It feels great. Not posable in any which way. It's just there dangling, kind of. Really soft rubber. You've seen it earlier in the review how it looks on the figure. And then, of course, if you want to put it on, all you need to do is remove the head sculpt, slide this down over the neck, put the head back on, and then there it goes. Looks great. Feels great too. Up next, we have this piece here, which you've already seen on the figure. There's a hole there for you to slide it down the forearm. And then you get this hand here with that as well. That looks really cool and menacing. Nice flame. It just shows like a lot of anger in this flame versus like the Kyo flame effects. Pretty nice here. You're also going to be getting this drill bit here for the figure, and it's not posable, it's just a hard plastic. Well, I guess you could say kind of soft. It's kind of a mix of both. It's soft here and then kind of hard on down here. It looks like, yeah, it looks good. Turned out great. Doesn't extend out or anything like that. And then to put this on, you can see the groove there. Obviously, it matches with the metal, so you know it's going to go on the left hand and arm. You get this little joint here that comes with the figure as well. You can see this piece here. So to do this, what you need to do is remove the hand, and then let's see. Actually, I'm kind of stuck on this part. Let's see here. I guess you would do it like so. One moment here. Oh wow, did they really want us to? They may actually want us to pull out this whole joint? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't, let me see. Okay, yeah, so that works perfect. I'm not sure exactly what this piece is for. Interesting. So yeah, you can just do it like this. There is a little peg in there, all the way down in there. I'm not sure if you can see it or not. And then you just slide this down in there, and then there you go. You've got your drill. So that's how that works for this piece here. And then lastly, for the main event, we've got this pretty cool effect piece here. The mix between like pink, red, and black. It looks really good. It even has like the translucent. You can see the different effects with the sun shining through it. Look at that. That's pretty cool. So yeah, pretty cool accessories for this figure. Turned out really great. So with that being said, let's go ahead and bring this figure in for a closer look and see that aesthetic, articulation, and so on. Bringing this figure in for a closer look, I gotta tell you, the figure looks nice. It feels great as well. The sculpting is very clean. I like how the sculpting is done on the back, here on the abdomen as well, on the back, lower torso, on the belt. Pretty cool design. It's very similar to another character in the game. I can't remember the name, it starts with a K. Very similar in that design. Obviously, this is, you know, the last clone of the series from M.A.R.S and things like that. Pretty cool story for this figure, for the character, and for the franchise as a whole, KOF. One thing I will say I do enjoy about this figure, pretty simple design, nothing too crazy going on. I like the metal gauntlet in hand there, looks pretty cool. But what I really like about this figure is going to be the attention to detail. As you come down here to the knees, you can see that the line is symmetric all the way through. So that's a pretty nice detail to have for this figure. They didn't do any shortcuts or anything like that. Now you hear the squeaking. That is very common for Storm collectible figures. Just the way they do their engineering and things like that, it just squeaks. Now you do have the option of using like a shock oil and things like that to reduce the squeaking. Is that necessary? I would say it depends on case to case, because there are some figures out there that, you know, you move a leg and you think you're going to break it. At that point, I think, yeah, you should have some shock oil or something on the figure. But yeah, aesthetically, this figure looks clean. It turned out great. I like how with the arms, when you go and you bend the arms, oh snap, did it just break? Well, I like when you go and you bend the arm, it shows the attention there. Hold on, let me see. Oh, cool, it didn't break. Well, isn't that fascinating? We just found out something new. So yeah, typically when it comes to these figures, you know, and we're talking about double jointed elbows and things like that, you know, I'm always saying, well, you really can't see that it's double jointed because of how big the arms are. Well, in this case, you can actually see that it is double jointed because of how small the arms are, right? So that's pretty cool. And then up here at the top, this is like a soft plastic. Then we get down to like a harder plastic down here. And you can see like how good the abs translate over with the clothes and things like that. Looking really good. And you can, again, it's hard plastic. So it's kind of like soft up here at the hair, you could say, and then hard, and then hard for the head sculpt, and then soft right here, and then hard again. And then it's soft right here at the groin area here, and then hard again down here. So yeah, I mean, this figure looks cool. My one gripe with these figures, Storm Collectibles as a whole, and I'm sure probably going to be Storm Arena, is that we have the sleeves that come out and over the shoulder piece. Oh, we have a little dog right there. Let's go ahead and bring him in. The shoulder piece right here. You can see on this side how it comes out, but on the other side, not so much. That's like one of my it looks like one shoulder is bigger than the other. That's one of my gripes with how they do everything. So I know there's like a technique out there, allegedly, where you can just push it together and it comes out. Well, obviously that's not going to work there. But yeah, this figure looks good. The aesthetic is clean. Basic design, nothing too crazy going on. I think Storm Collectibles absolutely nailed this figure 100%. And with the way they do their engineering, it just turned out pretty damn good. You can do the T-pose. You got articulation here at the top of the figure. You've got it down at the middle of the figure as well. You know, the head can look up a good distance, can look down as well. And like I've always said, I like how the neck and the muscles and all that stuff moves with everything. You know, you can see how it stretches, it moves. It just makes it more premium in my opinion. More of a premium figure. And then down at the legs here, you know, a little bit wide on the legs because of the pants and things like that, and the sculpting of the pants. You can see he can hit that 9 degree, no issue. And then when it comes down to the bending, again, these are double jointed, but because of how wide everything is, it doesn't seem like that. The toe does extend out. You do have your toe pivot as well. You've got your ankle rocker there. So, you know, we're checking off all the boards here, the whole list for a decent figure. You got your split you can do as well. Overall, it turned out really good aesthetically and with the articulation, accessories, the whole 9 yards. It turned out pretty good. So let's go ahead and end this off with my final thoughts. For being Storm Collectibles' third KOF 2002 Unlimited Match release, I think they did a great job for this figure, and I hope a lot of people go out and support the line of KOF 2002 and that we see more characters, because if they're anything on par to what we're getting with this release, I know we've got a lot to look forward to. When it comes to swapping out the pairs of hands with this figure, easy peasy lemon squeezy. The hands are actually a little soft rubbery, which I think is great. It makes it for an easy swap in and swap out for the figure with the hands. So I think that's pretty cool with this figure. I like the accessories, I like the aesthetic. The articulation is on par to what we would expect from a Storm Collectibles figure. All in all, a very solid release for KOF from Storm Collectibles, and I highly recommend checking this figure out, or at least enjoying some reviews out there and some photography of the figure, and just see how you feel about this character and or figure. Thank you all for watching. We hope to see you all in the next one. Until then, peace.